Hello, so now in this occasion, I would like to answer the question that is given by Mr. Harry. But before that, let me introduce myself. First, my name is Putu Dessy Derri. And for the first question is about what is online learning. Explain also synchronous and asynchronous learning. Online learning is learning that use internet to transfer the material. And synchronous learning is learning that is done by the student in the same time. Synchronous learning also can happen in the same time and also in the same place, and it's known as the outside. But asynchronous learning also can happen in the same time but the different place, but it should be carried out by the online. Actually, there are several media that is used in synchronous learning. The first is about live webinars. The second one is instant messaging. The third one is about video conferencing. And the last is about the virtual classroom. Asynchronous learning is learning that happens in the different time. And asynchronous learning also is known as the flexible learning because asynchronous learning is not bounded by the time and place. Also, there are several media that is used in synchronous learning. The first is email, also blog, pre-recorded lesson, or webinars, and also the last is about the online discussion boards. And number 2 is what are basic features of LMS? Please explain. Actually, there are several basic features of LMS. The first is about the announcement. Announcement feature is the place where the teacher wants to tell the important information to the class. As you can see that there is the example of the announcement. And the next is about the syllabus. Syllabus feature is place that contain about the syllabus. Students will know what the activity that they are going to do in the course after they see in the syllabus. Next is about the lesson. Lesson feature is the place that take the material or lesson for the course. And this is also the example of the lesson in the school. And there is also the discussion forum. Discussion forum feature is place for communicating some topic in which the student can share their opinion. As you can see that there is also the example of the discussion forum in school. Next is about grade books. Grade book is the tool that has function to know the student academic progress to throughout the semester. This is also the example of the grade books in the school. And also there is a dropboard or assignment. Dropboards or assignment is the place that used by students to upload and submit their tasks. And also there is also the course email. Course email is the place that usually used by the teacher to communicate with the student. And the last is about the resources. Researcher is the place to save all the type of the online material that is needed by the student. Number 3 is the question number 3 is as online course the teacher give as online course teacher give example of the good introduction writing for one topic meeting. Please explain. Actually, there is the good example of the introduction of writing. So, why this is good introduction writing? Because the writing style in that is clear, concise, and direct. and also easy to understand by the students. Next is about why online learning should be attractive. What elements are needed? Please give example. Online, online material should be attractive because it will make the student interested to read the material. It also make the student uh, it also make the student easy to understand about the material. Easy to understand about the material and also help the student to focus to learn the material. There are several elements to make the learning material attractive. The first is about the layout, the second one is about the text, the third is about the color, and the last is about the graphic elements. And this is also the example of the attractive material. As we can see that the layout in that material is good because there is space between each line to the right and left, so the student can easy to read. The margin that is used also right because it uses just TP that make it look tidy. And for the text in that material also good because as we can see that the type size in that material is easily readable by the students, and in that text also there is no caps lock, and the use of bold is right, and also it can emphasize the important information in that material, and the use of the color in that material also right because there is a contrast between the text and the background, and also the use of the graphic element and the use of the bullets in that material also good because it make the material look tidy. And number 5 is please explain types of online learning activities and provide relevant technological tools for the type. Actually, there are several types of online learning activities, and the first is about the class discussion. Class discussion is the activities that involve students to share their opinion about a certain topic, and the tool that is used is discussion forum. And next is about the journal writing. Journal writing is the activities that make students reflect their own ability to take new knowledge or develop new skills, and the tool that is used is blog. And the next is about share knowledge base. Share knowledge base is the activity that asks students to collaborate to develop their knowledge and their critical thinking. And the tools that is used is wiki. And the next activity is the practice exercise. Actually, practice exercise is the activity in this activity the teacher design exercise to their student in order to know the level of the student's skill. So the teacher can do self-reflection after they know the level. And the tool that is used to do the practice exercise is a testing and quizzing. Next is about the group project. Group project is activity that requires students to work with peer and each other to make some project or product. And the tool that is used in the project are work groups, wikis, blog, or discussion forum. And so it's also there is the receptive activities. Receptive activities is the activity that develop the students' receptive skill. As we know that the student receptive skill consists of reading and listening, and the tool that is used is the PDFs, podcast, YouTube, Google, presentation, etc. So now it's about question number C is about your online discussion. It's important elements in online learning. Sometimes it might not work well. How does the teacher optimize discussion? Actually, there are several things that the teacher can do to optimize the discussion. The first is about giving score. Giving score in online discussion is the biggest key to make the online discussion success. Giving score can encourage students to participate in the discussion. If there is no grade assigned, students are not likely to participate. And the second is for making good question. Actually, the good discussion is started by the good question. Make a question that related about the material, and the question should not too difficult in order to make the student respond the question. And the last is about to motivate the students. And the teacher should be able to motivate students to participate in the discussion by giving feedback like compliment to the student who has a good answer in the discussion. And number 7 is please provide an example of learning resource that can be used to engage learning in online learning. This is the example of learning. Actually, this is the example of the learning resource that can be used to engage learning in online learning. In here, I choose to use the video. The video can engage learners in online learning because the video is attractive that can make the learners interested to watch that video. And the video also contain about the material, about the topic of the material, which is the descriptive text. By watching this video, the student will easy to understand about the material, and they will feel not bored. There is also the link about the video. There is also the link of the video. Now, so next is about the question number 8, which is the can we give an example of effective assessment in English online teaching and learning? You can pick up one of the integration or more than one language skill. So actually in here I choose to assess students in writing skill, especially in creating descriptive text. To do that assessment, the teacher should ask the student to work in group and make descriptive text, because I think it is effective way to know their writing skill. After that, they submit their work in online course. Actually, there are several criteria to assess student in writing descriptive text. The first is about the content of the text. The second one is about the organization of the text. The third one is about the grammar that is used in the text, and the last is about the vocabulary that is used in the text. And the question number 10 is about what are the basic elements to consider when building online course. Actually, there are several basic elements to consider when building an online course. So the first is about learning outcomes. Learning outcome is the goal of the learning that students expect to achieve. And the second one is about online syllabus. Online syllabus is the guidelines for the teacher to teach the students. Online syllabus consists of course title, course name, course description, course objectives, evaluation, plan, grading, require, course, and all. And the third is about course outline. Course outline is summary that consists of the topic which related with the syllabus, and the topic will be discussed in the course. Course outline is like the planning for the teacher to teach their students. And the last is about from course outline to the rest. After the teacher makes course outline, she will apply what did she plan in course outline to the learning process. Number 10 is please give an example of online lesson in your class for 1 week.